Yeah, I'm not at all ever an excuse maker for our team. We have high standards, high expectations, but, two on Saturday, one on Sunday, and then a 7-hour bus ride, and throw in a second shot of their vaccine yesterday. I felt we were fatigued. We looked fatigued, but we did a nice job of just figuring out how to win the game tonight. We didn't have our best start. We got to figure out Eck, and then I thought Lucas did a nice job of just settling everything down. And then Drew Shiflett was really good today. And, you never know with this group who's going to come through. Shiflett was great. And then Tanner picked him up. Nix picked him up. But we hit some balls really well that had nothing to show for. I felt like Ivan hit that ball and crushed it right at the left fielder playing on the warning track. Mitch hit another hard shot to second and one to short, and they made both the plays on him. So it was one of those games we just had to fight through. I was really proud of Barrett coming off the bench, doing what he does, forcing pressure, and then advancing to second and then scoring that insurance run.
Thanks, Coach. We'll go ahead and start with Danny Davis. Go ahead.
So, David, just to clarify, is everyone on your team vaccinated now, or?
We have a small percentage that's not done, and we had a couple of guys that we held back tonight for the simple fact of planning and make sure that we have personnel ready for Friday in case there was some type of setback. But I would say 95+% is now, and then you go through the 2-week grace period, and hopefully we're fully vaccinated in a couple of weeks and we can relax a little bit.
And then tonight, Pete not getting the midweek start, was that he pitched on Sunday deal? Was that him being set up to pitch this weekend deal? What was kind of the reasoning behind that?
Yeah, he pitched to try to help us win on Sunday. It was potentially a bullpen day for him, but he was right at 40 pitches. And we knew if he went more than a matchup that he wasn't going to start today. We were just going to have to bullpen it, or we were hoping for an extended start by Eckert. But, we just figured out how to get through it tonight. So, if Pete comes in and picks us up in a matchup Friday or gets extended and picks up a starter, that's what will happen. And then we'll figure out next Tuesday, with big series coming up and Pete pitching well, it's important that we have him ready for this weekend as well.
Go ahead, Dustin.
David, so assuming him being ready would be a bullpen type role on the weekend?
It was this past weekend.
Yeah.
So he's good to go extended right now. So if he went, let's say he went 3 innings on Friday, or let's say 40 pitches, then he would be available to go Tuesday and probably wouldn't use him much on Saturday. Definitely not Saturday. And it would only be an absolute matchup on Sunday. But if he only goes a matchup on Friday and gets extended on one of the other 2 days, then, of course, he'll be burned for next Tuesday.
Okay. And with Cam, did you see what you wanted to see from him tonight? I know that was probably by design to get him out of there a little early on. But, how did he feel after getting back out there, and did you see what you wanted to see?
It was 100% by design to get him 2 to 4 innings, and it was the perfect time after his hit to pull him 2 at-bats. I think he's still probably questionable. Wasn't as pleased with what I was hoping to see. So he's still got a little hobble. So we'll just continue to treat it.
And what exactly was that injury?
He has a contusion in his knee area. And it hasn't actually, the swelling has continued. He hasn't had enough blood flow. Tom's doing everything he can to get it right. So there's nothing structural. That's the good thing. But it's a slower process than we were hoping for.
Bob, go ahead.
David, Mike's line tonight, 3 walks, 2 stolen bases, 2 runs, RBI, just kind of doing everything. Can you just speak to what he's kind of meant coming into the program this year?
We've really emphasized how valuable he is to our program. we knew we needed another center fielder or outfielder. We feel like we play 3 center fielders out there, and we're comfortable with Eric in left and Dougie in right, and then the combination with Mike in center. But it just kind of solidified that position for us. And he came in here with the right attitude, very coachable for an older kid, wants to win, wanted to come south, wanted to play in a big program. And he's been all that. And he started slow. And that's tough on kids when they've had experience or that are experienced and they've had success. And now they're starting slow and everybody's kind of looking around like, is this guy really the deal? Can he really help this team? And he just kept his nose down, kept working. We stuck with him, kept having conversations, kept working on his swing, and just kept building his confidence. And he's responded outstanding. I think the biggest reason why he's probably having so much success right now is he's seeing the ball so much better. And you can see that by drawing the walks and getting deeper into counts.
And then just real quick on the streak, I'm just curious how you think your team handled it. Did they kind of let it hang over their heads, or did they just completely ignore it? I'm sure you'd prefer the latter, but how do you think they handled it?
I think everybody had it in the back of their head. I mean, the superstitions come out and continue to wear the same stuff and have the same routine. And we even talked about that. Just don't change anything. Just continue to do what's got you here. But we never really talked, hey, that's 15. Hey, that's 16. We never even brought it up. And I never heard one single player ever say a word about it, which I was really impressed with their maturity. Everybody knew it was happening, but not one player said a word about it. After Sunday's game, we just had a short meeting and said, this is a hell of a run, so let's start a new one and just continue to play good baseball.
Got 2 last ones. Joe Cook, go ahead.
How comfortable is Drew getting with that arm slot? And then how comfortable are you with maybe bringing him in on the weekend more and more?
Well, I think that was a big step today. I mean, we've seen really short outings, but today was a big step when the game was close. And he did a nice job of not only keeping us in the game, but not allowing them to score anything. So I think it merits that opportunity. And that's what happens when you get opportunity to go out and help your team, then you get the second one. We've seen it with Lucas, and now their confidence builds. So I think he's going to be a piece of that bullpen consistently moving forward.
Roger, you're up.
David, you kind of gave a formula for what could go wrong on a Tuesday with all the things you guys are facing. You guys haven't tripped up one midweek game. Just, the importance of that is you're playing for a lot of different things. Big 12 is a Big 12, but, the big picture as well. And I know these games are important.
They're really important for momentum. They're important for confidence, but as you saw tonight, I mean, the game is so unpredictable. And because of that, that's what kind of makes the game special. And you have to get past, well, they're struggling. They just came off of losing 3 out of 4. You got to get past that. You're in a tight ball game with the team that's not having a great year, and you just got to go try to get through the game and get your head down and understand that's the game of baseball. And sometimes it happens like that.
Last one, Jeff Howe, go ahead.
David, just real quick, you talked before about stuff you discuss with the team, stuff you don't. Is this a team where you can get into things like regional projections and conference standings? Do you want to get into that with them, or is this the kind of team where you could say it or not and it doesn't really matter?
Honestly, I've spoken on the big picture with other teams much more than this team. And the main reason is because I haven't seen a need to even go there, because they're just playing baseball. And I don't want them to get overwhelmed of thinking, well, if we win this one and then we go in and we win this series, then we're in this position. They scoreboard watch. I mean, they know. We've got some real educated guys in there that understand it because they've been around it for so long and they express it. But I just haven't really felt the need other than, hey, we're preparing to beat the best type of arms. We're preparing to play against the best type of teams. We're preparing to handle the running game from what other teams can throw at us. So that's been more of the talk as opposed to our standings and where we are and, you know, the rankings that are put together and the RPIs. I haven't even gone there with